Hey guys, this is Howard with Last Child from the fabulous Rocks album by AEROSMITH, and I'm in E-flat standard tuning, and most tuners will give you sharps instead of flats. So the top string, the sixth string, will be D sharp, followed by G sharp, followed by C sharp, followed by F sharp, A sharp, and then finally D sharp again, okay? So this is in keeping true to the recorded version on the Rocks album. You don't have to be in E-flat standard tuning to play this. You can just be in standard tuning. But I am in E-flat standard tuning right now because that's the way they recorded it. This is a pretty easy song to play. I'm just covering the main guitar part here, not the solo. If you guys want the solo and I get enough requests for that, I'll go ahead and do it. But for right now, it's just the main guitar part. In other words, the song, okay? So actually the song opens up with these chords. And you'll want to back off the gain a little bit for this, okay? Kind of clean it up a little bit, but not totally clean. It does have a little bit of an edge on it. We've got a D minor ninth out the chute. Played twice, and you can see the tab up on the screen. Of course, you play it twice, and then we move to a G6, which doesn't have a third in it, though. That's not really important. You don't need to know these chords to play the tune, but just in case you want to. And then we move to an E7. And we take that up chromatically. So all of that together is played like so. And then we are into the main riff. And the main riff is very cool, of course. It's a funky kind of bluesy thing, and you want to apply some palm muting back here because you want the notes to sound as staccato as possible, with the exception of the very last note in the riff. And that is fingering number 1 that you see on the screen. But there's a second guitar that does these little staccato jabs, little double stop action at the 7th fret on the E and the B string. And so the second fingering shows you how to combine those two guitar parts together, which is kind of cool and fun if you're the only guitar player in the band, which I have been in numerous bands, okay? So let me play that real slow for you. So everything's a downstroke just like it was on the previous riff, except for those double stops. You'll want to grab that with upstrokes. It's kind of tricky to play, but it sounds really cool up to tempo. But of course you can just play. That's perfectly fine as well. So now we move into the next riff. And the next riff is played like so. So I play that by using my third finger, my ring finger, moving from 5 to 7 on the D string, and of course the A string is engaged the whole time, the open A string. Then 4 to 5 with my first two fingers. Then 2 to 4 with my first finger and my ring finger. Then open, 2, 4, open, 2, 4. And I think that is best played with alternate strokes. It sounds a little smoother and a little rounder, but the rest of it can be played with downstrokes. And you'll want to play that 4 times. And there's some muting in between. You know, you don't want it to just ring out after each little pattern. So you want to mute it, mute it, mute it. Right back to the main riff, okay? And then we move into yet another riff, okay? And this is the last riff in the song. It's more like a lead lick, right? A lead riff. I like to hit the D chord, the D2, and the A chord, the A2, in front of each lick, even though you don't hear that as the main guitar part on the song. It's in the recording, kind of buried in there. But it sounds really cool. Okay, and we'll talk about those last two notes in just a second. So I hit the D chord. You don't have to, of course. You can just go straight to the lick. But I hit the D chord and then go up and do the lick. Hit the A chord. So those last two notes, as I just mentioned, you can just hit them staccato. And you will definitely hear it that way on the recording, but you'll also hear 1 or 2 times where the note is pre-bent at the 8th fret. And I love that. I think that sounds really cool. Now, the only other riff you're going to hear in the song is the riff that's played underneath the guitar solo, and it is played like this. And at the end of the solo, they go right back to the... Okay, so that riff, really slow, is played like so. Now I'm using predominantly alternate picking for that particular riff, which I think sounds nice and round and smooth. You don't have to, of course, but again, I think it sounds really nice like that. You can also, instead of jumping up here to 5 and 7 on the A string, you can use the D string, and if you like that better. I kind of like the heaviness of the A string. I think it makes it sound really cool, okay? And as I say, you go right back to... So there you go with Last Child from AEROSMITH, all the riffs for that particular tune. And like I say, if I get enough requests, I'll do the solo, but most people just seem to want to learn the song. So I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you guys real soon.